Hey guys, LongHaul Larry, Big Blue. It is February 21st, 2019. Made it over here to Ohio. And I really slept hard. Woo. I set my alarms because I got a couple things I want to do. And I must have turned them off. I don't know. Next thing I know, I woke up and it was noon. I was like, what? But I made it over here to the Go Mart. Exit 186. One of my subscribers sent me a comment last night and said, hey, are you going to be stopping at the Go Mart? I'm here. And I said, yep. But I didn't get to see anybody. I was planning on getting up about 8 o'clock and but probably he got up, who knows, might have saw me and said, his curtains are pulled, he's probably sleeping. They probably took off. Well, we ran across the turnpike on Pennsylvania last night. Ran through there and they had there was a 45 mile an hour restriction out on a turnpike. It was rainy and it was like 33 degrees and stuff. It was right at that icing point, and Big Blue had ice forming on it, but it was right at that point, and there was a 45 mile an hour restriction all the way across there and stuff. And made it up over there, and by the time I got to New Stratton, where you turn off the toll road there and got through Pennsylvania, then it started warming up a little bit. By the time I got over by West Virginia, it was up like 40 degrees. Now today here it is 51 degrees here in Ohio. It's like beautiful, sunny, warm, cool. But Eric, Boss Man Trucker, if you guys haven't checked it out, he's got a YouTube channel. And I ran with him a few days ago. You guys saw that. And he's a good kid. He's like half my age, I think. And he's been a subscriber of John and mine's, and he came over here to work here. I think he's been driving for like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. And hardworking kid. And he has his own YouTube channel. I'll put a link down in my description if you want to check it out. The only thing is you gotta tell him, get those marbles out of your mouth. I have an issue with that with the younger kids and stuff. My daughters are the same way. Every time I see him, I say, hey, I kind of give him a couple little pointers and stuff. I don't know if I'm the person to do that or not. But I kind of try to give him like a few little pointers and stuff, and every time I see him, I tell him, you have to speak more clearly. My daughters, they're the same way too. You talk to them on the phone and stuff, and it's like, okay, yeah, and what happens is the phone, they just kind of drop the phone, so the mouthpiece is kind of like down. It's not in front of their mouth, and they kind of ramble a little bit. And it's like, and I always yell at them. I'm like, I can't hear you. Oh, sorry, Dad. And my second oldest dog, she graduated college and everything else, and then she got this real professional job. You know, she's working, and she has people underneath her stuff, and she's a professional. I don't know how to word this without saying too much, but basically she's kind of like a little boss and stuff, you know. And she's and I've been telling her, you're gonna work in a professional field, you have to be able to speak clearly. And I have seen a transformation. because now her voicemail, it's very clear and everything else. And I'm like, hey, you're finally learning to talk on the phone. But every time I see Eric, I always constantly say, you have to speak clearly. So go check out his channel and tell him to get the marbles out of his mouth. I'm sorry, car. I passed that car and pulled over there and then got this hill and slowed down a few miles an hour. Now they're going to pass me. I didn't mean to do that to you. I wasn't thinking. Well, we are going to be stopping in Zanesville. I'll pass the car again. And I got to drop off these 2 ECMs and then we will be on our way to Indiana. I do have to make another pit stop at the Kenworth dealer in Columbus, Ohio, and get my money back. And then I'm also going to buy some fuel filters from them, too. I got to slow down and stay behind this guy. There's a pretty good curve down here. Another subscriber say, hey, you're coming through to a stop at Belmont, Ohio by your lunch. Kind of not really my lunchtime. I actually just got up, but I will be, I think I might be stopping for some fuel. So I don't know if you work there or something, but I might be swinging in there. I'm going to need some fuel. Down just above a quarter tank, so is this Belmont here? I'm not really sure. This is Cambridge. On the corner. I put out a snowmobile video this morning. It's kind of, I'm missing a bunch of data because I had, I said my camera bag is gone and I lost some data and stuff, some data cards that had footage on it. That was mostly from that days. And it really sucks too because you saw how we went up to, the Red Rock Pass or whatever. And we continued on from there and we went across these fields and you can kind of see it where there was, I was going across and what it was probably about a half a mile to almost a mile of these fields and they were probably at about a 30% angle downwards. And so the whole way you kind of had to like keep your snowmobile up on edge and side hill all the way across. I mean, for like half a mile to a mile. And you actually could see me go by and there's like people stuck and stuff. And I just kind of, they got stuck right in front of me and I just kind of kept going so I wouldn't get stuck. And and then I turned around and later it came back. But, I don't know if I should go over or not. The scale's right up here. I think it's right up here around the corner. This car hauler guy's like super slow. We're gonna go. I mean, he's doing like 58 miles an hour, something like that. I think he's gonna go now. I have to be over there for the sensor to work. Yeah, now he's gonna go. Pretty typical. But, and we went across there and then we all met kind of on the other side and stuff. It took a while. I mean, it was like an hour process to get everybody across those side hills. But we ended up getting everybody over there and we continued on and stuff. And then the footage that I lost was actually coming into a place called the Elk Lodge. And it was really cool. It was actually somebody's house. And it was like in this mountain valley with a lake right there and stuff. It was so pretty. And the leader of our group, he knew about it, and he knew the lady. And what you had to do was you actually had to call them and make a reservation. You couldn't just snowmobile in there and just stop in and say, hey, I'm here to eat. You had to actually make reservations. And what it was their house, and in the very front room of their house, they had a bar set up. And so you could go in there and have a few drinks or whatever. Then you go back in another room, and it was their living room. And they would have this roaring fire and their couches and everything, and everybody just hung out. And it was actually their house. And then you go down this little hallway, and you go back into another bigger room, and that was there was a dining hall back there. And they served food there. But there was only like 5 things you could order. And nothing had prices on it or anything else. And I was just like, okay. I just went with the flow. I didn't ask any questions. And I ordered this chicken sandwich. It was kind of weird because it was a teriyaki chicken sandwich. I think they had it on there. I don't think I've talked about this, but West Yellowstone, it was really kind of strange. But these guys are so slow. I don't know why they're going so slow. Do they think that's going to keep them from getting pulled in the way station if they're going 60 miles an hour in a 70 mile an hour zone? But I can't jump out there because then my sensor won't work. Come on. Give me the green light so I can get going. There we go. I'm out of here. You boys are in my way. That's all I got to say. But Yellowstone is actually, when we were there and stuff, actually probably 70 to 75% of the people there are Chinese. It's really weird. And they really did not speak English. They're from China. And I asked about it, and they said their tourists is actually probably 70 to 75% people are actually from China. They said it's a huge thing in China for Yellowstone. And it's like their vacation spot. It was really funny because the motel, they had a continental breakfast every morning. And I would go down there. I'd always kind of be up and around and waiting for everybody else to get going, and I would go down there and have this breakfast. Well, it was really funny because you'd walk in there and they'd have 15 tables, and probably 13 tables would have Chinese people all speaking Chinese. And I was in there one day, and they served all continental breakfast stuff, and they had this big heated bowl thing, and it was sausage and gravy, and then they had biscuits there and stuff. So I would usually go down there and have a little plate of that for breakfast and coffee and stuff. And I was sitting down there and I had these biscuits and I was heating them up, and then I was putting them on a plate, breaking them up and stuff. And there was this Chinese lady, she was sitting there and she was kind of speaking broken English. And they were kind of all looking at the different food, trying to figure out what everything was. And she opened up the tub and she goes, I started just laughing out loud, and I heard this. I couldn't help it. But I saw her, she opened up the tub, and I was kind of standing there waiting. She opened up the tub, she looked in there, and she looked around at a bunch of people she was with, and she goes, they eat soup for breakfast. I just started laughing. And I walked up to her, and I said, no. I said, this is biscuits and gravy. I said, this is gravy and sausage mixture. And she just kind of looked at me like she had no idea. And I kind of grabbed the ladle, and I had the biscuits on my plate, and I dumped some on my biscuits, and I showed it to them, and they're all like, ooh, oh. It was so funny. And I was like, okay. And I went down, and I was sitting at the table, and I was watching the news, having a cup of coffee, my biscuits gravy, and I started noticing there was like a whole crowd that gathered around me when I was showing what it was and stuff. And also I started noticing all these people, they come walking out of that little area where all the food was, and they come walking past me, and they would smile and nod at me. And every one of them had biscuits and gravy. It was so funny. And I would just, yup, I would just nod back at them, And I'm looking around at the tables, and every time I look at somebody's table, they were eating his biscuits and gravy, and he'd look up at me and he'd go, good. I'm just like giving him thumbs up and stuff. It was funny. It was pretty funny. But that day I was missing a bunch of footage, and we went to this Elk Lodge, and we went in there, and I saw they had a chicken, teriyaki chicken burger, and I was like, okay, and I got that, and I thought it kind of strange, but I think that's why I was getting to the Chinese, kind of an Asian type of thing, because they probably have the, Chinese people coming in there, and I got that, and she's like, well, do you want fries with that? And I'm like, sure. So it was homemade fries, and I got this and stuff, and they brought it out. Man, I think they stuck half a chicken on this burger. It was so huge. I couldn't believe how big this sandwich was. And I actually ate about 3/4 of it, and I could not eat anymore. It was so much food. I mean, I'm serious. It was like a half a bird on a bun. And it was really good. But and she came by and she's like, oh, everything good with it? Any problem? And I'm like, no, it's great. I just can't eat anymore. And I really suffered the rest of the trip, because when I got back on my snowmobile, took off, and every one of those bumps, I was so overfilled. It was like, oh, it's not good. But then we left out of there, and they actually had a road. We came out through some mountains, and then we came out on this lake, and we just ran straight down the lake. And we came right onto the place, and what it was it was a elk hunting lodge is what they did. That's what they were known for. Is during elk season, they'd have all these hunters come in there, and they had these little rented little cabins or whatever, and they rent them on for elk hunting, and that's where a lot of people go for elk hunting, I guess. They had pictures all over the walls and stuff. And when we left out of there, we actually went a different way, and we took the road getting out of this place, and the road wasn't even plowed. And I was talking to the guy that owned the place and stuff, and he asked which way we were going, and the leader of the group was sitting there, and he goes, oh, we're going to take the road out, because we had a lot of trouble getting in here, people getting stuck, so we're going to run the road back out to the trail. And he's like, yeah, he goes, I think I got it smoothed out somewhat. He goes, it was getting a little rough, but he goes, I went to town the other day, so I kind of smoothed it out. And he had one of those snow machines that has the big tracks on it and everything else. One of those snowcat things. It's like basically like a car with tracks on it. And that's how I learned. That's how they get out of there. And this driveway was probably 5 miles long. And they don't plow it or anything. They don't have cars in there and stuff. They only use this snowcat thing, and they run it out there. And then out by the road, they have a truck that sits out there. And that's their only way in and out of that place. It was really cool. But all that footage is gone. And then on the way out of there, we were coming by in Austin, there was like this swampy willow patch area. And everybody started pointing as we were coming by. There was 3 moose sitting right on the side of the trail. And I stopped and had my camera out, videoed them and everything. They were good sized moose. And they were sitting right there looking at us too. And that footage is gone. So I kind of just threw that together. I'll probably throw together a day 5 and 6. I got a lot of footage from those days, because I got that camera back. So I'll tie some stuff together for that, put that out in the future here. Well, I think I'll let you guys go. I have 11 miles I got to turn off and jump off to this place and give these guys these ECMs, and then I'll be on my way. Well, guys, we made it to Zanesville, dropped off the ECMs, and We're making our way through Columbus, Ohio. Ohio. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's just beautiful. Just beautiful. Here's your downtown Columbus. I'm going to be running out here to the, what is it, the 270, and running that up. Kenworth dealers just up a little ways off of 70 here on the 270. Running in there and returning this sensor. And then probably picking up some fuel filters. Come on. Come on. Come on. No, he decided. Oh, no, that's not where I want to be over here. Through downtown, and I'll catch you guys later. All right, guys, we are in Greenwood, Indiana. We're coming in here. We're actually about not even a mile away from our delivery point, but my delivery's at 3 a.m. So I'm going to be shutting her down right here. It's like a mile away. And I actually have a little project that I'm working on. I'm going to work on that for about an hour or so, and then I'm going to go to sleep, and I'll get up and make my delivery in the morning. I'm going to be parking at this Road Ranger. Road Ranger used to be Pilot, and then they turned around and changed it, and now it's not Pilot, it's not associated with Pilot anymore. So now they got like a whole new sign and everything. So grab a parking spot, shut her down. Tell you the truth, right here looks just fine for me. Why not? Why not? So I hope everyone out there is having themselves a great day, a great night. You're watching this here video. If you are not, well, we certainly could change that all around and try it all over again tomorrow. I know you're asking, what project are you working on? Well, that video will be coming out soon. So I will catch you guys later. Probably need to pull up a little bit because I gotta get up underneath there. Right by work. See ya.